beloved chosen one. The day you surrendered to God's plan was not a small moment hidden inside ordinary time. It was a turning point that shook realms you could not see. What felt to you like a quiet breaking, a private prayer, a trembling yes whispered through tears, was received in heaven like a victorious sound. You thought you were simply laying down your fear, your confusion, your own timetable, but in the spirit, your surrender became a declaration that your life would no longer be ruled by delay, pride, or the opinions of people who never understood your calling. That day, heaven marked you. You did not arrive at that surrender easily. It came after pressure. It came after disappointment. It came after nights where you carried questions too heavy to speak aloud. You tried to be strong on your own. You tried to hold everything together while your soul quietly cried out for God's direction. Yet the breaking was not the end of you. It was the unveiling of who you were always meant to become. The moment you stopped wrestling for control, grace met you there. The moment you released your grip, God began to reveal that His plan was never designed to crush you, but to consecrate you. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 126, verse 3, "The Lord has done great things for us, and we are filled with joy. This is why heaven celebrated. Not because you became perfect in one instant, not because every question vanished, not because every battle ended that same day, but because your heart turned fully toward the one who wrote your destiny before you were born. Your surrender told heaven that you were ready to be led. It told the kingdom of darkness that your agreement with confusion was over. It told your future that the door was finally open. There are people around you who may never understand why that day matters so much. They may look at your life and see only a decision, only a shift, only a change in attitude. But heaven saw an altar. Heaven saw trust. Heaven saw a chosen vessel saying yes to divine order. That is why peace began to enter places in you that had been at war for years. That is why chains began to weaken, even before you saw visible evidence. Surrender is never weakness in the hands of God. It is alignment. It is courage. It is the sacred moment where your will bows so your true purpose can stand. So do not belittle the day you said yes. That was the day your story stopped circling and started moving forward under the hand of God. Like this message. Share it with someone who needs confirmation. Subscribe for more. And comment 318 if you know heaven honored your surrender today. What made your surrender so powerful was not only the moment itself, but the battle that came before it. The enemy did not resist you because you were weak. The resistance came because your yes carried consequence. Long before you fully understood your assignment, darkness had already sensed that your alignment with God would break patterns that had ruled your life for too long. That is why confusion visited your mind so often. That is why distraction kept trying to pull you sideways. That is why delay appeared in cycles, almost as if something unseen was trying to keep you wandering in circles just one step away from obedience. You felt that warfare in private ways others could not measure. Sometimes it looked like exhaustion with no clear cause. Sometimes it sounded like inner accusations, telling you that you had missed your moment, that you were too damaged, too late, too inconsistent to be used by God. At other times it came through disappointment, through doors that closed without explanation, through seasons where heaven seemed silent while your heart was begging for one clear instruction. Yet even in that silence, God was not absent. God, He was watching the battle, strengthening your spirit and allowing the pressure to expose what could not go with you into your next season. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. That truth matters because the battle before your yes was never proof that you were abandoned. It was proof that you were being contested. You were standing in a spiritual intersection, and your decision carried more weight than you realized. Every lie trying to keep you passive, numb, or divided was an attempt to stop your agreement with heaven. The enemy did not need to destroy you completely if he could simply delay you long enough to make you doubt your own hearing. He did not need to remove your calling if he could keep you exhausted, offended, and spiritually hesitant. But God used even that resistance. He used the waiting to teach you discernment. He used the pain to make you hunger for truth over comfort. He used the frustration to show you that self-reliance could never produce what surrender would unlock. This is why your yes was not shallow emotion. It was forged in conflict. It was shaped in hidden tears. It was strengthened by every moment you could have turned cold, but did not. The war before your surrender was fierce because your future in God is not ordinary. And the battlefield itself became evidence that your obedience was worth fighting over. Now you stand in the sacred tension that follows surrender. And this is where many people grow careless. The first battle was getting to yes. The next battle is protecting that yes from erosion. Not every attack comes with noise. Some of the most dangerous ones arrive softly, through compromise that looks harmless, through fatigue that whispers it is easier to drift than to stay alert, through old appetites trying to convince you that one small step backward will not matter. But it does matter. What heaven celebrated must now be guarded with reverence. This is not the hour to play with what once nearly destroyed your clarity. This is not the season to reopen doors God already called you out of. Don't do it, no matter the price. There are moments when the enemy cannot stop your surrender, so he changes tactics and tries to dilute it. He tempts you to keep the language of obedience while secretly returning to the mindset God delivered you from. He offers you imitation peace, counterfeit comfort, and familiar distractions, hoping you will trade holy direction for temporary relief. That is why spiritual alertness matters now more than ever. You cannot protect a divine assignment with a casual heart. You cannot carry fresh oil while entertaining stale compromise. The life God is building in you requires separation from the very things that once kept you unstable. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 9, verse 62, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God." That word is not meant to shame you. It is meant to steady you. Looking back is dangerous because nostalgia can make bondage seem softer than it was. Memory can become selective, editing out the pain of disobedience and magnifying the false comfort of what God told you to leave behind. But you know too much now to return unchanged. You have seen what surrender costs, and you have also seen what surrender opened. Mercy met you when you bowed. Peace entered when you yielded. Strength rose when you stopped fighting God's hand. Why go back to the dryness that kept your spirit starved? Protecting your yes means guarding your mind, your atmosphere, your patterns, and your agreements. It means recognizing that not every open door is from God. It means understanding that delay is not always an accident, and distraction is not always innocent. Some things are sent simply to weaken your focus. Yet the Spirit is making you sharper in this hour. You are learning that obedience must be renewed daily, not admired from a distance. The same heart that surrendered must remain watchful, anchored, and willing to say no to anything that threatens the covenant path you have entered. Your yes is holy. Treat it like treasure. Comment, "Guard my yes." Let that be your declaration that you will protect what God awakened in this season and refuse every pull backward. And this is where you begin to see what your obedience has truly unlocked. Surrender did not reduce you, it released you. What once felt delayed in the spirit now begins to move with holy precision, because obedience places you where grace can flow without resistance. There are blessings God gives through mercy, and there are dimensions of authority that only open through alignment. Your yes has brought you into that alignment. What was blocked by hesitation starts to clear. What was clouded by fear starts to sharpen. What was dormant begins to awaken because heaven responds to yielded vessels. You may have expected obedience to feel smaller, quieter, more restrictive, but in truth it has enlarged your life in the spirit. You start noticing a new kind of discernment. You hear more clearly. You recover more quickly. You recognize what carries God's breath and what merely carries noise. This is not imagination. This is what happens when surrender becomes the atmosphere of your life. You are no longer trying to force open doors with human striving. You are walking toward assignments that have been waiting for your agreement. Favor begins to look different when it is tied to purpose. It is no longer about comfort alone. It becomes access, timing, wisdom, and strength for the mission attached to your name. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 17. Verse 7, "Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him." That blessing is not shallow success. It is the stability of a life rooted in God. It is the quiet power of knowing that what He initiates, He also sustains. This is why obedience carries hidden wealth, not only spiritual wealth, but the kind of provision that keeps a calling moving. The kind of support that allows truth to keep reaching the hearts it was sent to awaken. When God raises a message, He often moves through willing hands to help carry it farther. Even that becomes part of obedience. Some give prayer. Some give encouragement. Some give practical support so the work continues without interruption. All of it matters when it is led by God. You are stepping into a season where what was unlocked through surrender must now be stewarded with maturity. Favor is not an excuse to become passive. Authority is not permission to become proud. The more God entrusts to you, the more faithfully you must walk, yet you do not walk empty. Heaven has already placed what you need along the path of your obedience. The same God who called you is also arranging the strength, the connections, the insight, and the provision. And as this word continues to bless and steady your spirit, supporting it becomes one more quiet way of honoring what God is doing through it. Helping this light reach the next person who is waiting for confirmation. And now you move forward not merely as someone who survived a hard season, but as someone heaven has marked, shaped, and commissioned. Your surrender was never meant to end at personal relief. It was always leading toward assignment. God did not call you out of confusion only to leave you standing still. He brought you through the breaking so you could carry light with authority, walk with conviction, and become living proof that obedience to Him is never wasted. What began as a private yes has become a public witness in the Spirit. You may not see the full reach of it yet, but your life now speaks in ways your words alone never could. This is what it means to be crowned, commissioned, and sent forward. The crown is not human applause. It is the weight of divine identity resting on a yielded life. The commissioning is not an earthly title. It is the moment heaven trusts you with what pain prepared you to carry. And being sent forward does not mean every path becomes easy. It means you no longer walk without direction. You are not wandering now. You are moving with purpose, even when the next step requires faith. The same God who celebrated your surrender is still watching over your becoming. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. chapter 138, verse 8. The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Hold that word close, because it destroys the lie that your story depends only on your strength. The purpose over your life is not sustained by willpower alone. It is sustained by the steadfast love of God. He is the one who completes what he starts. He is the one who preserves what he calls. He is the one who keeps shaping your character, refining your discernment, and strengthening your spirit for the road ahead. So when fear tries to whisper that you are not enough, answer it with this truth: God never chooses without also equipping. You are stepping into days where your presence will shift atmospheres. Not because you are trying to appear powerful, but because surrender has made room for God's power to rest on you. You will recognize battles faster. You will guard your peace more fiercely. You will stop apologizing for the boundaries that protect your anointing. And you will begin to see that the very places where you once felt disqualified are becoming the places where God's glory is most visible in your life. This is not the end of the journey. This is the beginning of your clear forward march. Heaven celebrated your yes because heaven knew what that yes would release. Comment 452 below as your sign that you are moving forward under God's hand, crowned with purpose and unwilling to turn back. Let this message remain in your spirit like a lantern hung at the edge of a long night, quietly proving that dawn is already on its way. If these words have sheltered your heart, then like this message as you would place a small flame in the window, a sign that this light deserves to keep burning. Share it like passing a fragment of sunrise into the hands of someone still walking through their valley. Comment as though you are carving a quiet memorial stone along your journey, a witness that heaven met you here. Subscribe like choosing to stay near a well that keeps giving living water when your soul grows weary. And if love moves you to donate, let it be like pouring fresh oil into a vessel so this flame can travel beyond your own doorstep and reach unseen lives. Let every response rise freely, beautifully, and with reverence.